So a quick follow-up for my videos last week where I talked about how I'm going to be changing my focus to more AI-related content, news, and new tools that we can basically all start to get more curious about and potentially incorporate into our workflows as sync licensing producers. Now, a vast majority of you, from all the amazing comments that you guys left, are on board with this. Most of you guys feel just as curious as I am. Even if you're not super curious right now, you understand that you don't have much of a choice, that this technology is going to hit us basically like a tidal wave. And so it is in your best interest to essentially get your head above water right now and really kind of take a look around and understand what can be happening coming into our future. And I'm really, really excited to hear that. But I also got some great pushback and a little bit of feedback from a few of you that felt that maybe I'm doing the wrong thing here and that I'm maybe being misguided or I'm just going down the wrong path. And they were really great points of feedback. In fact, all of them gave me pause and made me think, are they right? Am I being thoughtful about this? Am I making a big mistake by looking at AI right now? Maybe I'm premature, or maybe this is not something I should be doing. So I really appreciate when you guys are honest with me and give me your real feelings about stuff that I'm doing here. So in this video, I want to sort of address the top 3 points of pushback that I received, and then give you guys my responses to them. And in the grand scheme of everything that we're talking about here, I really don't want my channel to kind of turn into this sort of all aboard the AI train. Don't get left behind, because if you're left behind, then you're going to be a loser and we're only winners here going on the train for AI. I don't want it to turn into that, because I know I can feel myself sometimes going along with that narrative in my brain, and I'm really actively trying to resist that, because I do know that this is challenging stuff and it doesn't help to create a conversation that's sort of us versus you or us versus us, where we're kind of like choosing sides and all this stuff. I want to frame it in terms of we're all in this together, okay? We're all sort of floating in the ocean and we all see a tidal wave over there. Now, some of us think that that tidal wave is a lot closer. Some of us feel that that tidal wave is very far away, very far away. Others of us maybe feel that tidal wave will never come to get us. But we're all in the ocean together, okay? So it definitely is something where I want us to keep, and I'm going to do this for myself, remind myself that we are all music creators. We all want to get paid for our work. We all want to protect our rights, and we definitely all want to stay relevant with the new technology that comes into our industry. So that's the sort of spirit that I want to carry forward with this. But let's get into the 3 points of feedback that I received, okay? Number one, and this is a really, really important one, was I had a commenter say, hey, Jesse, I think you're just having a knee-jerk reaction to all the ChatGPT stuff. You probably got a little spooked, a little emotionally driven by all the sort of fast-paced developments happening in that space. And so you sort of connected all of that to music AI and think, oh my gosh, music AI is going to develop just as fast. And maybe I'm just sort of being emotionally driven in making this big choice with a change for my content focus. What's interesting about that point of feedback is it's partially true, is I really did feel a shiver down my spine. And he's definitely right. Like, when I saw how fast ChatGPT was developing and how it's now being able to be stacked with other ChatGPTs to create these auto AI synapses that essentially become self-correcting systems that can do almost anything you want them to do. And then I started looking into where we are with AI generated music. These pieces started to kind of drift together where I realized, okay, maybe AI music isn't there yet. It's not there now, but look how fast this large language model stuff is developing, like right in front of our eyes, right? It's exponentially getting more powerful. It's not just, getting 10% better, 10%. It's doubling. It feels like from week to week in terms of its capabilities and its capacities. So there was definitely a little bit of a trigger of fear that came into me as I saw that happening, because I've been following technology for a long time, and I've known that there's the potential for exponential growth with all this information technology that we have at our fingertips. So when I saw where AI is currently at with AI generated music companies, and I saw how fast a large language model can develop and grow, especially when you have hackers and you have all this attention and energy being fused into it. Well, it's basically just a matter of time, right? As soon as this technology, this AI music created content comes to the surface and these models are usable, user-friendly, available for the public to play with, you see this mad dash rush of all the energy for people to learn how to exploit it, hack it, add plugins, right? All the things you're seeing now with ChatGPT. So I can see the writing on the wall. This, whenever it does surface in our industry, it's going to happen very quickly. And I don't want to be the one. That's what I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be the guy that was scrambling essentially after it already surfaced to try to now get my head above water to go like, okay, well, what is a language model, and or what is it? How are these AI models working, and what are they doing? I want to learn about that stuff today while it's still sort of under the surface, so that potentially myself and all of you guys, I want to bring you guys along for the ride with me. I want all of us to be able to see new opportunities to potentially work with these AI models, these AI companies that are all going to be sort of bubbling up, and find new ways to monetize our music. So yeah, we are emotional creatures, and I'm no exception. So I definitely have an emotional driver here, but I do believe it is backed up by sort of the evidence that I'm seeing in terms of the exponential growth of technology and the fact that we already do have some capability for AI technology to create music. It's just a matter now of turning up the quality knob and increasing its capacity. Okay. Number two, I've got this from quite a few of you guys. AI music that's going to be competitive with us is at least 5, probably actually 10 or even more than 10 years away, Jesse. So you're way premature on this. You really don't need to you don't need to focus so much on this. And, the math, the technology, the algorithms to be able to put off or come up with something that would be competitive with us is so far away that you're just sort of in la la land in your own head. You might be right. If you feel that way, you totally might be right that we just don't have anything close to being able to create high quality, licensable, sort of human mimicking AI music. We might be more than 10 years away of that. I don't see, though, how learning about this technology now could harm any of us, right? I think even those of you that feel that I'm a little bit too aggressive in my predictions in terms of I think it's the next 2 to 5 years that we're going to see this bubbling up. Even if I'm wrong on that, I think you guys can understand that at some point it's going to come into our industry, right? Even if it's 10 years, 15, 20 years, at some point this technology is going to creep into our world. I think no matter where you are on your predictions, you know that that's inevitable. So I feel, why not get our homework done early, right? Why don't we be one of the sort of leading communities here that start to wrap our heads around this technology early and fast, so that as the thing surfaces up and more people are starting to figure out, like, how do I figure out what to do with this technology and how do I keep myself relevant, we will be sort of thought leaders in this space. We will know the lay of the land. We'll know the technology, at least to a certain extent. Of course, I'm not a programmer or hacker, but I'll definitely understand a sort of layman's understanding of how these technologies work. And most importantly, how I and all of us can fit into it. Like, how can we actually still be useful and relevant in this new changing landscape? So even if I'm way off and it's 10 years into the future, for all of you guys that are going to follow me on this journey, and we're all going to get smarter and get more prepared with this technology, we will all be better served when this technology finally lands in our lap, right? And the third one, and this is actually the most important one, this one really kind of hit me right in the heart, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear on this. Somebody left a comment saying that, great, Jesse, sounds like you're just abandoning us, right? You have all this content, you're talking about sync licensing, you got me excited about sync licensing. I heard this from a few of you guys. You got me all excited about sync licensing, and now I'm doing it, and I'm about to send my music to a library, and boom, you're basically abandoning us. You're going off into AI land, and I'm still here in sync land, and I don't even know if I still should be in sync land. So it felt like an abandonment move. And that was one of the ones that gave me the most amount of pause, where I really for a couple of hours had to kind of think, what am I doing here, right? What is this all about? Is this an abandonment? Am I really sort of like giving up on what have I sort of compromised my core mission with what I'm doing here with my YouTube channel and all my education services? And after some thought, really, really deep thought, I came up with this sort of understanding of what I'm doing. I don't see it as abandoning you guys. I actually see it as the opposite, okay? So in my gut and in my honesty, AI is something that we really do need to take seriously, and we really need to get smart about. I know that for me, and I really want to make sure that you guys join me on that, okay? So I think abandoning you would more look like me suppressing that feeling and just talking about sync licensing and not really being honest about the fact that I feel AI will disrupt us, and sort of misleading. I would feel like that move would have been like misleading you guys, sort of just, kind of taking you down the road of sync licensing. La, 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 la. Don't worry about AI. It's not going to disrupt us, and they can never do anything for us. And even though in my gut I'd feel like I think there's something that we should sort of get prepared for, that to me would be dishonest. Maybe not. I mean, you could say that's not necessarily abandoning, but that would be a sort of dishonest move where I'm not being just honest with you guys about where I'm at. I also think that just stopping making videos, like if I just said, hey, you guys, AI is basically going to disrupt us massively. I don't know what to do about it. I'm going to start getting really curious about it and try to figure out how to do it on my own, but I'm basically not going to make any more videos for you. So I'm just going to sort of shut off my YouTube channel, and best of luck with all the sync content I did. I'm moving on. To me, that feels more like an abandonment, right? That would be something where I just sort of like drop the cord and exit stage left and I'm out of there. But I'm not doing that, right? That's not what this move is about. This move is about hopefully trying to take you guys with me. And I'm going to be taking along a ride with some of you who are even way more educated in the space, so that we can all kind of go along this ride and this journey together. So I really hope that helps explain my intentions behind this. And like I said in the first video, I knew I would lose some of you. I just know that that's sort of a cost of doing something like this. So if that explanation doesn't help you sort of understand where I'm coming from and make you feel like, all right, I can give this a shot and see where Jesse's going with this. If that's not enough, I get it, but that's about as far as I can give. I just don't know what else I can explain to you guys other than this is what feels true to me. This is what feels right to me. This is what feels honest to me. And I don't know if I have any other option, right? If I want to be ethical, if I want to be honest, if I want to just let you guys know essentially what I am seeing, this is it. Like, there's really nothing else I can potentially say or do other than literally just tell you what I've been telling you in the last couple of videos, which is that I'm really excited, partially terrified as well, but I'm really excited to kind of go on this new venture and start seeing new stuff and learning a whole bunch of new things. So that's what it's really all about. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns that I didn't address here, feel free to comment them below. Let's see, what do I have planned? Coming up, I'm going to start to put together some videos for how you guys can start to use that ChatGPT AI chatbot essentially to aid your sync licensing career. So again, we're not like giving up on sync licensing. And that's also a really, really big point. I did mention it in, I think, both of those videos. I'll mention it again. I'm not saying give up on sync licensing right now. I'm saying take out one pinky toe and maybe dip it into the water of AI technology, okay? But keep 9 toes in the waters of sync licensing. Keep doing what you're doing. We haven't been disrupted yet. There's no reason to change. I'm just looking into the future. But yeah, I'm going to be basically putting out some tutorials very soon on this channel for how you guys can start using these new tools to not only potentially help you partner with music libraries, but also understand legal contracts in a way where you don't have to go potentially pay a lawyer, right? So you can actually get some legal help, sort of non-proper legal advice, but you can certainly get some legal help from this ChatGPT service. So I'm going to release some of those tutorials here in the next couple of days. Stay tuned.